Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, is making it clear that he wants Terence Crawford. Even says that he's willing to move up to 154 pounds, where Crawford is currently at, to make it happen. So, Terence Crawford, he just fought Israel Madrimov. And I thought it was high-level work. Madrimov, he was doing some good things. I like how, I told you, I like the balance on Madrimov because I've seen him in other fights where he was lunging and making probably more mistakes that at a high level you wouldn't be able to make against a guy like Crawford. But seeing this was Madrimov's biggest fight, he came correct. And then like he tightened up his work. And I thought his feints, really good feints, just really awkward. And people made a big deal about like Madrimov had never faced anyone like Crawford. I really want to say that Crawford as a pro under the bright lights, he hadn't really faced anyone exactly like Madrimov either. Somebody who is bigger, stronger, with that type of footwork and movement. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what happened with Errol Spence, but Errol Spence don't fight like that anyway. But Errol Spence just looked really off. So you could say Errol was bigger, but he looked off. So he never really got anything going in their particular fight. So Madrimov, it was a good workman-like fight from both. Different people feel different ways about who won. I don't feel the type of way. Some people say you have to do more to beat the champ. I don't really believe in that. I think you just have to win the rounds. And, the judges had Crawford winning. So it is what it is. But now Teofimo Lopez wants to try his hand. And I would say that's kind of the bad thing with this Riyadh season card in Los Angeles. I'm going to keep saying it. They pulled out all the stops. They're trying to force feed Terence Crawford as a star. He's 36, going to be 37 next month. And the problem with that is his past longtime promoter, Bob Arum, already told you that Terence Crawford doesn't really promote, and he could have bought a house in Malibu with the amount he loses on every Crawford fight, et cetera, et cetera. So Turkey or whoever, they can try to pitch Crawford because he is a great fighter. So they could try to pitch the great fighter. But like I keep saying, it doesn't mean that it'll resonate with the fans. That's just the harsh reality of the game we're in. Now, I also said that the Madrimov fight wasn't the best fight for Crawford because, yes, Errol Spence, when you fought him, Errol Spence was going to give you a lot of respect, and that's what happened. He even had a parade afterwards. I highly doubt that he has a big parade or as big as the parade when he beat Errol Spence after beating Madrimov. Where's his 4th division parade? Because we seen pictures days later after he beat Errol Spence and he was on a float and Shakur Stevenson was holding the net and stuff like that. Where's that for the Madrimov fight? See, the reality is nobody really cared about the fight. Nobody asked for that particular fight. Crawford linked up with Turkey. That's what they came up with. But now the downside is you got smaller division fighters like Ryan Garcia, who he's like, Crawford sucks. He got hurt by Gamboa. He's talking his trash. And then now you have Teofimo, who's doing more or less the same thing, which we'll get into right about now. Let me get my headphones on. But Teofimo, he, for whatever reason, he's really wanting to fight against Terence Crawford. And I'll give you guys some of my thoughts, but I first want you to hear what Teofimo had to say in this recent interview because he went to the fight for Crawford Madrimov.
The long arms like guys like him and Floyd did, though, jumping up from 30 and 35.
Pacquiao did it. Floyd did it. Guys, freaking Neil Park. Duran did it. Napoleon did it. But I'm just saying, it's not about that. It's about how you dissect it, how you are able to range it. Guys with long arms, it takes them a longer time to bring it back. So in those moments when they're trying to bring those punches back, you got your moment to take advantage of it. look, I fought Josh Taylor, long ass arms. I took advantage of that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but the only thing is Josh Taylor's no Terence Crawford.
You know, and Crawford is very wide. Y'all don't see it, huh? Yeah, y'all don't see it.
Well, you both no. You mean with your shots are more compact? They're shorter.
It's not even that. It's just the way Crawford's always been long and lanky.
You're tighter, like when you hit Richard Coleman between the hooks.
It's just everything. It's faster. It's crispier. It's straight shots, straight in. Don't get me wrong. Long, lanky shots. You get hit, you're gonna feel it. You just gotta be careful. It's a good fight. That's what it's all about. Making boxing to that degree of it, like the essence of it. You know, the best.
Arms like guys like him and Floyd did.
So he also did another interview where Teofimo said he will fight him even at 154 pounds. I don't think Teofimo can make 140 anymore. I don't know what on earth is up with this new generation. This new generation, they're just flying through weight classes, like literally flying through weight classes. Like they might have a couple fights at said weight class and then they're out. They're like, peace. You know, it's really bizarre. Devin Haney, he's, what is he, 2 fights in? The Ryan Garcia and the Regis Prograis fight at 140. And in between that, we've already heard Team Haney talk about going up to welterweight to fight maybe Jaron Ennis or Keith Thurman or Barrios or whoever. So I think something has changed in this younger generation under age 30 where they're not holding their weights or their walk around weights are too high and they're crunching down to these little divisions. And then when they start getting to that 24, 25 where puberty stops, they just can't make the weight no more. You know, your body is, you know, you're getting older and maturing. And if you're crunching down into a lighter weight class, it is what it is. But Teofimo and his dad, they are calling out Terence Crawford incessantly. And this is nothing new. In fact, they even went to the Canelo versus Berlanga press conference. And then Teo Sr. was like, hey, Canelo, you know, tell the cameras about Terence Crawford should fight my son. So they're really pushing for this fight. Now, I mean, it is what it is. Fighters have been known to be defiant and bold. Me personally, at looking at it, especially at 54, with no fights at 54, I would have to favor Terence Crawford over Teofimo. So me personally, I'm not dying to see this fight, but I mean, there's only so many options for Terence Crawford. And if somebody keep barking up that tree, like when Mikey Garcia was like, I see something, and kept wanting to fight Errol Spence, I don't know. The people who make the fights, maybe they get involved and decide that they want this particular fight to happen. Me, I've already told you, I'm the king of consistency, the best in the business, and it's not even close. Not a big fan of like rapid weight class jumping and moving around and musical chairs with your weight and stuff like that. So going from 140 to 54 is crazy. 47 to 54 is a jump, and that's just one weight class away. And you've seen that in Crawford Madrimov. Crawford looked even more ferocious and dynamic at 47. And then when he was in there with a capable guy, albeit inexperienced, at 54 in Madrimov, he looked like he had to take his time a bit more until some of the later rounds where the fight was questionable in the eyes of many as far as who was winning, you know. So then Crawford kind of stepped it up in some of those later rounds. But, you know, let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see Teofimo Lopez versus Terence Crawford? The one thing, I've already told you my stance. I'm not like a big fan of the rapid weight class jumping, but the one thing I will say that would look bad for Crawford is if he takes 140-pound Teofimo Lopez and him and Turkey try to like organize and make that fight. But then Team Crawford has had several reasons why they have stated that a Jaron Boots in his fight makes no sense. So I think that would be perceived because the world knows that that's a great fight. Eddie Hearn's been talking about it. Boxing Ego's been talking about it. Boots versus Crawford is the fight that I want to see, especially with Canelo and Crawford conversations coming to a screeching halt. So if he were to pick a smaller Teofimo Lopez instead of Jaron Ennis, I could see him getting some backlash from fans. But again, let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see Teofimo, who keeps calling out Crawford, at 154? Let me know.